Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I'm the Last Wanderer, and today I have the most powerful Dripleaf farm behind me to showcase. And yeah, it's a big one. This farm is so large it spans all the way from the bottom of the world at Y level -64 all the way up to Y320, the build limit. The reason this farm is so tall is to add in as many dispensers as possible, in this case 380, to make this farm as fast as possible. How fast is this farm exactly? Well, it can provide well over 2.7 million Dripleaf per hour. Now, the main caveat to most Dripleaf farms, this one included, is that they require an AFK player to keep replacing the big Dripleaf. The major problem right now, in Snapshot 21W11A anyway, is once you bone meal a Dripleaf and break off the top, you can no longer bone meal the stem. Which means it's currently impossible to completely automate Dripleaf farms. While my farm can't get around this automation issue, it can allow the player to grow up to 76 big Dripleafs at once using 0 ticks. Once you plant a Dripleaf here, it'll be broken off by 0 ticking pistons, but because the stem is 0 ticked off, it'll continue to grow upwards on the new block. And I can just rinse and repeat this and just keep growing more and more and more Dripleafs until I have 76 in this chamber all at once. And yes, that does produce an insane number of items. My inventory is instantly filled. As you can see in this very laggy demonstration of the Dripleaf growing, there's a new big Dripleaf every 5th block, and since this is 380 blocks of dispenser, that leaves 76 possible Dripleafs that can grow at once. Here's a cross-sectional view of the farm with the 0 tick generators. Right here, these observers provide delay, power this block, and power these rails. Now, with the rail update order, the furthest rail always updates first, which updates this observer, powering the sticky piston here, pushing its block out. But this observer here is updated next, which powers this sticky piston, which moves its block. So this sticky piston here immediately retracts, leaving its block out here. Then these two observers here simply power this block, target block, and make both of these sticky pistons retract their block, resetting everything. Same thing with the other side, and here's the farm in action. In terms of storage systems, I didn't add one because this farm is just way too fast. Though you could make an unreasonably sized one to keep all these Dripleaf. Now the items are collected by either being shot into this air column of blocks here and getting flushed onto this stone pressure plate, or they glitch through the blocks and end up in these water streams on the side. At the top, there's also a large water collection system because the growing Dripleaf can shoot off with a high momentum. They could even shoot through other blocks, which is why I don't simply have a roof on this farm. This farm isn't 100% efficient. For every few thousand items produced, a couple get out of the farm. Now you could make some water streams around here, and just funnel them back into the farm to increase your efficiency by a fraction of a percent, but do this redstone here, there'll be a very small number of items that end up getting stuck in this spot. But overall, this farm is well over 99% efficient. As amazing as this farm is, it does have one tiny glaring issue. For every Dripleaf you produce, you need a bone meal to produce it. Which means if you want 2.7 million Dripleaf per hour, you need to supply this farm with 2.7 million bone meal per hour. While it is technically possible to supply this farm with 2.7 million bone meal per hour, and I do have a water system that can supply this farm with 2.7 million bone meal per hour, realistically, you're never going to be able to make a farm that can produce that much bone meal. It's simply a ridiculous quantity. So, because of the insane operational cost of this farm, you're left with only two choices: either scale back the size of this gigantic farm, or only run it for 5 seconds, because realistically, that'll give you more Dripleaf than you'll ever need. In reality though, the reason that I built this farm in the first place was not as a realistic, survival, buildable farm, but rather as a proof of concept. And that's pretty much all you need to know about this farm. Thank you all so much for watching, make sure to check out some of my other videos, and goodbye.